Anyways, let's hop in. We'll finish that one last because that one's it's got a lot of features in it. I'm just playing with it. Share screen. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. All right. Today, we'll start all over. Today, we're covering some of the free tools we have at our disposal. So things that you can use that'll make your life easier. That will be amazing. But hold on, I'm just opening up. Every time I share my screen, I have to rearrange my entire window because it moves everybody to weird places. All right. As always, if you have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat box or just leave yourself unmuted and I will answer them. The first one that I'm going to cover is ListReports. So this is one of our free services that we have. It's listreports.com. So listreports.com. I like this one for my listings. We're going to go log in. If you have a loan officer that's using ListReports, they can partner with you and you get a bunch of freebies that you wouldn't have access to otherwise. Hopefully it'll just log me in like magic because otherwise I don't know how to get in there. Nope. All right, hold on. It's thinking.
I'm here. Sorry, my client just called.
Oh, no problem.
All right. Oh, I'll tell you later. I don't want it to be on the recording. Okay, where are we at?
ListReports. We're going to check out ListReports.
Where'd you find that at?
ListReports.com.
Oh.
And then you can create a user ID. If you don't have one, you would just hit create login. If not, you can log right into it. When you log in, you do want to set up your profile. Excuse me, you want to set up your profile and your settings. So spend some time doing that. But here is the joy of ListReports. So we're going to go over, well, number one, they have a bunch of shareables, which is kind of cool. Like here's our shareables, today's shareable. So it's got things you could post on your social media that you don't have to create. Look at that. I'm trying to save you time, energy, and effort. So like today's shareable was new homeowner tips. Hold on, I'm just clicking on it so it can bring it up and share it with y'all. Maybe. All right. Prioritize important maintenance, hire qualified contractors, get help with your taxes, and keep receipts from improvements, right? Super easy to share that. You can like go through it, do and don't when adjusting your expectations on a home. Do reevaluate priorities and must-haves. Don't buy something you don't like. So it's got these cool things you could be posting on your social media if you needed help with those type of things. It's got lots of things, one for every day. Cinco de Mayo was on the 5th of May, obviously, right? You can choose your branding for it. What colors do you like? Oh, it's a paired feature. If it's a paired feature, you have to be paired with a lender in order to utilize that feature. Otherwise, we stick with the regular features. I don't know how to get back there. You can add a tagline to it, and then you just look at what?
It has the market overview too.
It does. And then it's got like the captions are already done with hashtags and everything. So super easy. You just copy and paste it. And if you have a business page, you can schedule it on your Facebook scheduling page. But what I use it for is I go into marketing kits and I use this for my open houses or my listings. You go in and hit new marketing kit. I'm sorry, my cough is just getting worse as the days progress. You plug in an address and then it'll spit out this marketing report. So like I've got 370 Heritage. If I hit view, it's going to give me all sorts of tools that I can utilize for this property. So it's got social media shareables that it creates for you under contract, recently sold open houses for social media. It's got, if you pair with a lender, you get a website that you can utilize, like a landing page. Just waiting for everything else to load. It's thinking. All right. It's got flyers that you can utilize. So if you need like a super simple open house flyer, you can just come in here and utilize this open house flyer. Coming soon, just sold in escrow, promotional flyer with or without price. But so beyond all that, so that's all really great, fabulous stuff. It's also got postcards you can send out. And then it has these infographics, and this is why I like it. So if we hit, see how fast it downloads them. I feel like this is going to be our fastest way to be able to view through this stuff. And you can edit these. So if I went back up here, I'll show you those infographics here in a second. But I can come in here and hit edit kit, and it'll allow me to edit these items. So it gives you infographics. And this is why I like it for my open houses and my listings. Here it says your area report, like how close is it to the nearest ATM, to coffee, to gas, to groceries, to the gym, to the pharmacy, the cleaners, medical, the movie theaters. So it tells you how close it is. It tells you what activities there are nearby, which is kind of fun. And I usually edit these. So I would go in here and add like Lake Berryessa as a lake, and then map it and figure out how many miles it is from the property to the lake. Or I might add in like hiking and put in Penne Adobe and then do the distance for that. So I might find some cool things like that. I would probably take Green Tree Golf Club off of here because it's not in existence anymore. So it's still got some old information, but you can edit that. But it just kind of makes it fun and cool. So you're standing at the open house, people can be looking at those things, especially people that are out of the area. And then it tells you nearby restaurants. And in the final one is it tells you which schools are nearby and which one it's assigned to. Hold on, I'm going to text my handy dandy assistant for water. Okay. So I can stop coughing. So that's list reports. That's what I use list reports for. If you wanted to edit it, hold on, now the little menu bar is over my thing. You just come in here and you hit edit kit. It'll pull up that edit page. Thank you, handy dandy assistant. I'm just waiting for that to load. My computer's really slow when I'm sharing my screen on Zoom. All right, well, we're waiting for that to load. Will really confuse my computer. We'll come back and I'll show you how to edit those. It's really super simple. The other thing that I like in here, so I'm inside of Berries now. So if you log into Berries, it has your productivity tools. This is where you find a lot of the really free, cool tools that you have available to yourself. There we go. All right, hold on. We're going to hop back over now. So here is if you needed to edit the location. Oh, it's not. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. All right. So what do you want to edit? So this is back inside list reports, Heritage Lane. What do you want to edit? The listing details. You can upload, change the photos, the profile and branding, or the schools in the area. So this is usually what I edit. So we just click on this. Here's where you could change the schools. If you wanted to update, maybe it pulled the wrong school, you could update that. And here's where you could update the golf course. Like if we didn't like Green Tree, there is Cypress Lake. So I can just change that and put one there. And now instead of displaying Green Tree, it's going to display Cypress Lakes. And then maybe I want to add the lake. And I could say, oh, there's one. And I could put Lake Berryessa. And then I'd put the distance. I don't know how far it is. We'll put 49. Right? So it makes it super easy. And then maybe you want to go hiking. And one, and Penne Adobe Regional Park, and our distance is going to be 19 miles to Penne Adobe. I would map it obviously and figure out the exact distance. But that's a really easy way to update that. And then once you're done, you just hit update marketing kit. And now it's going to update those promo items that you had to use. So I like to have those out during my open house, or I will upload those to the next site that I'm going to show you, which is Homelight Listing Management for all of my listings. So that stuff is in there and it will save those items forever for you. Any questions about list reports? All right.
No, ma'am.
From your Berries dashboard, as I was saying, you have a bunch of free tools in here that you can access. One of those is your Homelight Listing Management. Used to be called Disclosures.io. From here, you can create a property package. So I use this for all of my buyers and all of my seller transactions. So anytime I have a listing getting ready to come on the market, we come in here and we create this folder. And inside of this folder is where I put all of the property disclosures. So you'll see there's the Solano County disclosure, the statewide buyer and seller advisory, water conserving plumbing fixtures, water heaters, square footage, market conditions, the CC&Rs, the full NHD report, the prelim, copies of their true-up bill, the PG&E bill payment history, anything that the TDS, the transfer disclosure statement, the home inspection, the HVAC inspection, my agent visual inspection disclosure once we're under contract. So in here, I put anything that a buyer might be interested in while the property is on the market. You can come in here once you create it and you can hit share package. And it'll give you the option that you can share it with a specific person, either a buyer's agent, a buyer, or a team member. Or I can hit get share link. And then here I can identify that any users with this link can immediately view documents. I would copy that link and put it into the MLS. This allows people, agents, to be able to look at those disclosures and pull it up before they even write an offer. So anything that I have on the property. Now, once we enter into contract, I continue to add stuff in here. So like the inspections weren't done prior to escrow. They were done after we entered into escrow. And we go ahead and put those in here so that they're available for everyone to view at that point. Makes it super handy. This also allows you to receive offers in here. It won't let me view them because it's probably closed, but it allows people to submit offers into this site instead of sending me emails with those offers, which helps me keep them a lot cleaner and nicer. When you submit offers in here, your buyer's agent would just go into the link and then it'll have a little button that says submit offer. And then it'll ask them to summarize their offer and then upload all those offer documents. And then I get notified that they've entered in an offer into Homelight. So I utilize this for all of my sellers. Now I also utilize it for all of my buyers. When I have buyers, I do the same thing as I do for my sellers. I create a listing package, not a buyer's package. I create a listing package. So like Ford Road was a buyer transaction. And I create it as a listing because as a listing agent, I can share it with different buyers. And I don't have the ability to do that when I create a buyer package. This just gives me more ability to be able to share and create and edit it, doing it as a listing package. And then, so in here, I treat it the same as I would my listing as a buyer's. Once we're in contract on a property, we upload all of the seller disclosures in here. So here I have the disclosure package, the NHD report, the preliminary title report, the CC&Rs, the NHD report, the home warranty, the pest inspection, the home inspection, if they had one, whatever goes on with this property, it all gets uploaded in here. And I share that package with my buyers. And then what happens is as we add more documents, you can hit notify viewers of updates and they'll receive an email notification that more items have been added to the file and that they should view it. This makes it super simple. So instead of trying to email my buyers like 20 emails with, oh, here's the seller disclosures. Oh, here's your home inspection. Oh, here's your pest inspection. Oh, here's this and here's that. And then it gets lost in their email. Now they've got one place they can go to. They just have to save this link. They've got one place they can go to see everything in one place and go through it all and review it. Okay. So again, this one I share as, sorry, I create as a listing folder, even for my buyers. Okay. Now, if we were in the MLS and somebody said, here's the link for Disclosures.io for the disclosures, that would show up under buyers. So here is one that got shared with me. And this one was whatever the listing agent put into it. That's what you would find here in this folder. Okay. I don't have the ability to be able to add documents or do anything like that unless I created this one. Oh, it will let me now. Maybe they changed that. So anyways, so you'd find it under buyers. So you can toggle between buyers and sellers from your homepage. So if you clicked on a link from an agent, it'll ask you to input your information. It will also ask you if you want to share it with your buyers. And to share it with your buyers, you're going to plug in their name and their email address. Don't worry, the sellers don't get the buyer's information. So the seller's agent can't see your buyer's contact information. So you can share it with your buyers. You would just hit share, and then you plug in your buyer's information there, your buyer's name. Okay, so that's how you use the buyer side. Again, all of my transactions I put into the listing side and create folders for that with all of the information and the documents. Any questions about Homelight listing management? All right. So we went over list reports, Homelight listing management. The other one we kind of touched on when I was in town doing the agent visual inspection disclosure, but that would be Glide. And Glide allows you to send out your seller disclosures and your buyer's inspection election for completion by your clients. It does it in a super simple, easy to use way. Hold on. All right, so here, you can go in there and you can do either buyer or seller. So you just click like new transaction. Who is the primary agent? You would select yourself. I don't use the upgraded feature. So with the upgraded feature, you have offer management. You can share and sync timelines, message clients, auto tab signatures, auto split PDFs. I don't worry about that. I like free. So I've continued to use the free version. What type of transaction? If this was a listing, we just click listing and property. Oh, let's go under contract. And then we'd hit continue. We're going to plug in a property address just for kicks. And hit continue. Here you can add parties to it. So if you have like a transaction coordinator, you could add your listing team or your transaction coordinator to it. You could add there we go. No, I knew it was going to prompt me for a name. All right, you could add your sellers to this. Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. Sellers. Right, you hit save. You can add multiple sellers. Oh. Oh, it did add me in there. Okay, we're good. All right, so we have a client and we have a transaction coordinator. Here's where you could update your property information, like if you needed the APN in there or the type of property, you could do anything you want with that. I usually kind of skip over this section. I just hit continue usually. And I hope that the systems are going to pull over the details that I need. And then here is where you could do prepare disclosure package. This is what I use this for. You can either fill in and add your AVID. So as we did on the AVID field trip, this is how I do my agent and visual inspection disclosure. You can add photos, you can make notes, it populates it all on the form for you with those pictures, with the text overflow addendums, everything you need in order to complete your AVID in a simple, easy to use format. If you have questions about that, you can go back. Oh, I didn't record that training, but we've done it previously. I can do it again. And I use this to invite sellers to fill out disclosures. So you could just go in here to invite. This is where it's going to give me my list of what I have available. So it defaults with the transfer disclosure statement and the seller property questionnaire. So this is where I send out any disclosures that have questions my sellers need to answer. So maybe they were an exempt seller and they don't have a TDS statement. Maybe they have the exempt seller disclosure form. So we're going to add that in there. Maybe the house was built before 1970 or 1965, so they need the earthquake safety form. Maybe since it was built before 1965, we definitely have that lead-based paint hazards disclosure that needs to go out. Remember, if it was built before 1978. And then maybe we want our FERPTAs to go out as well. And we just have one seller in there. So anything that has questions the sellers would need to answer, you can all send out through here. You just hit continue. Are you aware of whether it's in an HOA? No, it's not. Purchase agreement date. If we've entered into contract already, oftentimes my seller property disclosures I send out to be completed right before we go on market so that I have those completed for on market. So there might not be a purchase date here. Oops, now I put one there. It won't let me delete it. What type of property is it? If you have your APN, it would go here, and then the year built goes here. You probably need that APN, so you need to pull that from the tax records. Let's see if it'll let me populate without it. Okay. Here's where you would select your parties. So it's got the seller, it's got the packet admin, it's got me listed as admin and Phil's because I'm listed as the seller and the listing agent. And then we just hit continue. Clients will be remote, so they'll be invited via email. Here's what that email is going to look like. You can change it, do whatever you want, and then we're going to send that on its way. So that's super simple. And then what'll happen is your seller will get an email saying they've been invited to complete this property disclosure form. What's really cool about it is that at the very beginning, it walks them through all of their legal requirements as far as disclosures. It goes basically through that disclosure information advisory with them. And then it'll take them through those forms question by question. Instead of just a full form, it makes sure they answers yes or no to anything. If they have any questions on anything, they can flag it for review and you'll get notified. You can go in there and see where they had questions, and then you can call them up and help walk them through those situations. So super simple. So see, here's what it would look like for those disclosures. Before we begin, this is serious business. So anyways, pretty cool. Anybody have questions about Glide? Again, I use this both for buyer and seller transactions. The seller's one, you can do all your disclosures and your agent visual inspection disclosure. Your buyer transactions, you can do your agent visual inspection disclosure and your buyer inspection election form, where they can go through and say, oh yeah, we're interested in these types of inspections, and it'll take them through just a handful of them at a time. Okay, everybody's good? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Fabulous. So that was, we had ListReports, which was listreports.com. We had Homelight Listing Management, and we had Glide. The other one that I've been playing with, we've talked about Cloud CMA in the past. So we talked about that when we were running the CMA report. Thank you for the thumbs up, Tracy. I appreciate it. So we've talked about that. The other thing in here that's pretty cool is this RPR. So it's a real estate data platform provided by the National Association of Realtors. And that takes you into a place that looks like this. If you haven't logged in before, it may prompt you to create a login. This is a really good way to get like a quick and dirty. Somebody asks, what's my property worth? Where you don't want to do a big in-depth CMA report. This is a good way to do this. You can just go into reports and you could go, hey, I want a property report, a mini property report, market activity, school. So there's lots of different things. You can view samples of what each report is. And then you could plug in an address. Once we hit one, like this property report, we're going to hit run. Perfect. It's going to tell me when my report is ready. So see up here, I've got one notification. And it rings the doorbell. How handy. And here's that report. This is like a 28-page report. There's a shorter one. But here it has like the current estimated value based on RVM. And then it gives you a value range. So for somebody who's like, if you send out a social media post that would like, hey, hit me up if you want to know the approximate value of your home, this would be a really easy way just to plug it in and get that value for properties that are inside like the like general neighborhoods. I don't think it's quite as accurate for like country properties because nothing's accurate for out there. Okay, so you can run really quick reports. And even if we just took like the first 2 pages of this, shot it over to the client or the person that asked and said, hey, if you want a more detailed report, please let me know. I'm happy to draw that up for you, right? So super easy way there. The other thing that I thought was fun in here, so that's under reports. And then the other thing is there's marketing. So you could do like prospecting for residential clients. And are we looking for buyers or sellers? Let's say we're looking for sellers. Excuse me. Oh, we're going to hit map search. So then we're going to go map search. So let's say we were looking for sellers in Vacaville. So maybe we were going to send out some golden letters. And we have people looking for 95688 zip code. We want public records. So I'm just going to click the button for public records under status or type. Property type is I want. Oh, I think for some reason, I've got commercial. We're going to toggle it to residential over here on the left-hand side. And we have Vacaville, public records, single family residence. We want something that's got at least 4 bedrooms for my poor buyers. And then you can click more filters. We're just going off public records and we don't want anything sold. I put sold between 2011. Maybe we should do 2000. And till about 2 years ago, because we want them to kind of be ready to sell, looking for single family properties with 4 bedrooms. And then if we keep scrolling down here, it's got other keywords. So I want properties that have a pool and a 3-car garage. Now we can hit update and search. And it pulled in the 95688 zip code. It has 91 properties that haven't sold after 2020, May of 2021, that have at least 4 bedrooms, a 3-car garage, and a pool.
Amy?
So from here, I could narrow that down. Did you have a question,
Amy?
Anastasia?
Yeah, when I did mine, because I did 95687, one of mine has a red square. What does that mean?
I do not know. Well, okay, so did you update the status to public record versus for sale or sold?
I did public record. Oh, you know what it is? I just learned something new. It's a pre-foreclosure.
Oh, there you go. See, so everybody who is asking like, hey, pre-foreclosure, that means a notice of default was filed. It's going to indicate those on here as well. Oh, this one now said, it originally said that there was 91 properties, but now it's saying it's 1,091. So I may want to further narrow it down. Like maybe I want to go back into more filters, and maybe my buyers are looking for properties with a square footage of a minimum of 2,500 square feet. And maybe they want a lot size with at least 8,000 square feet. Then we can update search. Now we're down to 428 properties. So then I could further narrow it down. I could max out, like if my people don't really want to be in the country, we could go more filters. We could go, hey, we want 8,000 to 25,000 for the square footage. Or maybe we want it just under. We could also go acres. Oops. Hit click happy. So if we went acres, we could say, hey, we want a minimum of a 1/4 acre lot to a maximum of an acre. Here's if you didn't want your pre-foreclosure, it would be listed there. And you could further narrow down, you know, other items as well there with those keywords. Now we're down to 203. There's a red dot for you, Anastasia, as well. Close. So anyways, so you can do that, which is kind of fun. You can get mailing labels from there. You can create report, you can print it, or you can get mailing labels. So it'd make it super easy. Although if you're sending out golden letters, trying to find potential properties for buyers to purchase, I do recommend handwriting those envelopes. I'm glad you like it, Shannon. See, I didn't really know it had all these tools in here either. Just for the record, I was messing with it earlier today to make sure I was familiar with it. And I found all these cool things that you can do. You could add schools on, public, private, charter. Hit apply. Now it's going to pop those schools on the map. You could do flood zones. You could do the median estimated property values. Let's pull that one on and hit apply. Oh, that wasn't very oh no, it's pretty, it's narrowed down pretty good. So kind of handy there if you're looking for a specific price point. Show geographic. Well, let's go show macro neighborhoods. I don't know what that's going to do for us. Nothing. All right. So anyways, just some fun things that you can do inside of here to pull information for specific buyers and sellers under these research. So that's all under research, which I thought was cool, and marketing. Okay. You can create flyers in here. I don't know why you'd want to do that. You have so many other tools. School search. Oh, the other thing that you can do in here is you can look at residential marketing trends. So here again, let's say we put in that 95688. Here it tells you where you are, whether it's a seller's market, balanced market, or buyer's market. Of course, it's just going off this information. So months worth of inventory is 1 month of inventory currently on the market in 95688. List price as opposed to sales price is it's selling over list price, an average of 33 days on the market, or median 33 days on the market, and median sold price is 650,000. And then here's your graphs that can go along with this. You can narrow that down, like if I wanted just single family instead of single family condos and townhomes. New listings. So this is for April of 2023, because we're in May right now. There was a number of 22 new properties came on the market, 95688. This was the median list price, median price per square footage, total volume, median square footage living area, active listings, what's currently on the market, pending listings. Oh, this is for April, single family. Hold on, I don't know the difference between these two charts. The last day of the month. New pending. Oh, so these were properties that went pending in April, and these were any properties that were pending inside of April. And then here's the sold statistics as well. And I like that it's got the little graph for those buyers that are like, I know the market's going to tank. Like, you've got a cool thing here. Month supply. The supply is dropping off drastically. Sold records. So did anybody else find this helpful inside of here?
That's cool.
Right? I thought it was pretty cool. You could plug in a different one. 94534. Right. They have a little bit more inventory in Fairfield with the estimated values higher. So it's just kind of a fun little thing to come in here and play with. So don't hesitate to open up these tools when you've got some time, maybe even calendar some time on there to get in here and play with these items. So market activity search, the market trends is what we're in right now. You can do a map search, property search, and then you can pull those mailing labels and such for properties. So just some fun things to do to play around in here, as well as, again, if you've got like somebody that just wants a average, like, what do you think my property is worth? This is a good place to start when we go into the reports. You can just go into property report and then, or a mini property report, and get that estimate of value for properties, which I think is pretty fun. I haven't played with the investor analysis yet, so it's got that in there. So you may want to go in there and play. I did mess around with opportunity zones, and it said there wasn't any opportunity zone, so I'm not exactly sure what that does. But there's that market trends, create CMA, create report, search using map for prospect for clients. So you can do those all from this home page as well. It'll also pull up any current listings you have, except that it's randomly selecting. I don't know if it would pull up my California listings either, or two. So it's just random. And then your saved searches or recent searches are over here versus saved. And then any properties that you've pulled report on would be here. So there. So that was the RPR, which is one of those free things that we get for being part of the National Association of Realtors. So it's this funky little blobby thing right here. Trend graphics, that's that one that you can pull up inside of the MLS as well, that shows you all those charts and graphs for sold, days on market, sold versus list price. So that's trends graphics. You can open it from here as well. As far as free tools, that's all I've got for you today. Does anybody have any further questions or anything you want further explanation on? Everybody's good?
I'm good. I'm gonna start.
That was good.
I'm glad you liked it, Tracy.
You got to stop smoking though.
Right? Stop something. It's too much fresh air, apparently. It makes people sick. Hopefully, this is week 2. Hopefully by next week I'll be all better.
Yeah, I'm
Heather
just
keeps
teasing.
telling me
Yeah.
to rest. I know.
No, that was good. That was very. There was some. That's some. You know. That was good. Yeah.
Good. Fabulous. If you're able to open up that chat box and log your attendance, I am working on putting together our summer calendar for June, July, and August. It is going to look a little different than our previous calendars have. I'm probably not going full through the rev up. I'll probably add in some of those trainings you guys have asked for when you log your attendance, and then also bring in some of the more random forms that we deal with, like the SIP form and the COP and the SPRP and the ABCD. So we'll talk about those random acronym forms that you'll deal with in your transactions that are outside of your normal purchase agreement and listing agreement during those summer months, to just kind of switch it up and make it fun. And then we'll dive back into our Rev Up series for the ending of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter. We'll dive back into Rev Up and probably do it as the 3-month series again, where we kind of go over an overview of stuff, and then buyer's month and seller's month, because I kind of like that layout and it makes it a little bit fun. And then we'll finish up our seller's month here in the month of May. Wah, wah, wah. Next week, we're talking about winning the listing and preparing the property for sale. We'll talk about negotiating offers and the sale process. And then I don't remember what's on Thursday. It's something like that. But anyways, so just know that's coming up next week. We've got some good stuff in there. And as always, if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out at any time.
Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome. Have a fabulous day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.